Greetings, friends. It is Student Pastor Erin here from Trinity Lutheran Church in Edmonton, Alberta. Today, I want to continue to offer some encouragement for folks needing some specific kinds of support while living in this time of isolation and social distancing. And today, I want to share a kind of encouragement for folks who are self-isolating or are already in quarantine, but who also might be facing potentially abusive situations, whether that's physical abuse, sexual, mental and emotional, spiritual abuse, or financial abuse, or a combination of any of the above. Our anxiety is on a collective high alert, no doubt about that. Our situation can set the stage, however, to create greater risk for people already at risk for violence. So how can we find hope in the midst of all this? Let's start with a reading that I shared yesterday from Isaiah chapter 58. It's still certainly relevant for today. If you do away with the yoke of oppression, with the pointing finger and malicious talk, and if you spend yourselves on behalf of the hungry and satisfy the needs of the oppressed, then your light will rise in the darkness, and your night will become like noonday. The Lord will guide you always. God will satisfy your needs in a sun-scorched land and will strengthen your frame. You will be like a well-watered garden, like a spring whose waters never fail. Your people will rebuild the ancient ruins and will raise up the age-old foundations. You will be called repairer of broken walls, restorer of streets with dwellings. Domestic violence, or living life in an abusive relationship, whatever that relationship might be, is terrifying and traumatic. Being cooped up with people who have already hurt us and who could easily be triggered to do so again brings a whole different level of fear amidst this pandemic. If you consider yourself to be such a person listening to this vlog today, I hope you hear right now that you are seen and that you are so valuable and you are loved. I can't imagine the spiderweb of emotions you are trying to navigate right now, or ways you're trying to survive both the pandemic and the relationship that you're in. The fear is real. The grief, it's real. We hold this space for you today, for all the things to be validated, for all the things to be heard. Reach out to people that you trust if you can. Helplines, counselors, friends, churches, places of worship. Please, 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 if you face an out-of-control situation, call 911 and get help. Friends and neighbors, take the initiative and reach out first to check in. Keep the lines of the communication open as best you can. Support local domestic violence shelters and helplines. Many of these places remain open during this time of pandemic, so those facing abusive situations still have a place to flee to when they can. I mentioned yesterday that one of the best ways we can respond as a community to people living in poverty during this pandemic is to address poverty on a systemic level in order to end it. The same holds true today. One of the best ways we can support people facing violence during this time is, in the immediate situation, keep those lines of communication open. Call for professional support if somebody suddenly goes into radio silence and you become concerned. Get help. Long term, however, we need to continue to address violence and abuse on systemic levels in order to end it. We need to continue to dismantle patriarchy, misogyny, and toxic masculinity. In the dismantling, though, we need to create healthier new ways of being together in the world. Shared relational power, interdependence, healthy masculinity, inclusion, and love. All of these things God honors. All of these things will make our light rise in the darkness. Remember this, friends, wherever you are today, and whoever you might be, you are loved, you are lovable, and you are worthy of love. Today's blessing, once again, is by Jan Richardson. It's one of hope during times of violence, whatever that violence might be for you or for someone you know. It's called Blessing in a Time of Violence. Which is to say, this blessing is always. Which is to say, there is no place this blessing does not long to cry out in lament, to weep its words in sorrow, to scream its lines in sacred rage. Which is to say, there is no day this blessing ceases to whisper into the ear of the dying, the despairing, the terrified. Which is to say, there is no moment this blessing refuses to sing itself into the heart of the hated and the hateful, the victim and the victimizer, with every last ounce of hope it has. Which is to say, there is none that can stop it, none that can halt its course, none that will still its cadence, none that will delay its rising, none that can keep it from springing forth from the mouths of us who hope, from the hands of us who act, from the hearts of us who love, from the feet of us who will not cease our stubborn, aching, marching. Until this blessing has spoken its final word, until this blessing has breathed its benediction in every place, in every tongue. Peace, peace, peace. Our blessing before we go today, friends, was written by Canadian author Sarah Bessey. Receive God's blessing today. May the peace of God give you renewed hope and wisdom. May you find the strength you already carry within you to be enough. May the God of grace be sufficient. May you find a deep breath when the air around you is thin. May you grow in compassion in these days. May you love well, not in spite of these anxious times, but because of them. Amen. Go in God's peace today, friends. We will make it through together. Bye.